AI can start the conversation, but it's your voice that keeps it going. We've all experienced it. Inboxes full of robotic DMs, auto responses that miss the mark, and chatbot funnels that just feel more like cold call centers than actual connection. And as a business owner, it can be tempting to set it and forget, especially when the promise of automation sounds so good. But here's the thing. Done well, AI tools like ManyChat and Meta's messaging automation can actually enhance trust and engagement. They can be a powerful part of your lead generation strategy if you start from a place of empathy, clarity, and strategy. Not tech first, but people first. I'm Leanne Cohens, founder of Marketing Leap, and after 12 years helping brands grow with digital strategy, smart systems, and real human connection, I've seen both sides of this, the good and the bad, and the spammy. Which is why today's episode, we're unpacking how to use conversational AI tools the right way so that you can nurture leads, increase conversions, and still sound like you. Here's what I'm covering in today's episode. Firstly, the right way to use tools like ManyChat and Meta's AI messaging. Then we're going to cover where most businesses go wrong with automated messaging and how to fix it. And then we'll run through some simple steps to integrate conversational AI into your lead gen strategy without sounding robotic. And when it's time to shift from bot to human, because trust is built in the handover. So grab your coffee, your notebook, or your walking shoes, and let's get into it. Conversational AI is more than a tech hack. It isn't about cutting corners. It's about scaling real connection without burning yourself out. Because when it's done right, tools like ManyChat and Meta's AI messaging don't feel robotic. They feel like an open door, a welcome mat that says, yes, I see you, let's talk. In fact, at Marketing Leap, we've been using these tools with clients to encourage workshop signups without the sleazy DMs. Yes, we do get the occasional leave me alone from people that don't realize they've started a conversation, but with the right targeting, that's actually rare. We use them to boost webinar attendance with warm, casual reminders and trigger nurture sequences that felt so natural, people replied thinking that they were one-to-one messages. That's when automation works, when it feels human, and the numbers back it up. Messenger open rates can soar past 80%, but only when the message is relevant, timely, and written with a real person in mind. Because here's the thing, if your AI messaging sounds like it was written for an algorithm, that's exactly who it'll attract. And spoiler, algorithms don't buy from you. The goal isn't to sound smart or impressive. The goal is to sound like you, approachable, intentional, helpful. So before you build a funnel or drop your next chatbot sequence, ask yourself, how would I respond to this? And let's get one thing clear. AI messaging can absolutely boost your lead gen, but only when it's done with intention. Most of the time, businesses aren't failing because the tech is bad. It's because the strategy is missing. And there are 4 big mistakes that we see time and again. Firstly, there's no opt-in or context. We've had them all the time with someone pushing straight into your DMs with a pitch or a sales offer. Sending unsolicited messages or pushing straight into DMs without consent isn't clever. It's spam, and it's the fastest way to get yourself blocked. Permission-first marketing isn't optional anymore. It's expected. Secondly, there's over-automation with no human handover. So what does that mean? If your bot creates a loop with no clear exit, you're not building a funnel, you're building frustration. People want to know that they can speak to a real person if they need to, so that has to factor into your sequence, and that is very easy by setting up specific words or triggers. The third one, and this is a big one, tone mismatch. If you've listened to any of my podcast episodes or videos, you'll know how much I talk about brand voice, and your brand voice matters. If your social content is warm, relatable, and clear, but your chatbot sounds like a tech manual, you're confusing people. And confused people don't convert. I saw this firsthand with a very well-known local business coach who spent a lot of money with an agency to hand over her socials. Within 48 hours, she was getting DMs from clients asking what was going on as her brand voice was no longer aligned. So people may not say anything, but they definitely notice. The fourth thing is there is no journey logic. You can't treat all leads the same. If someone clicks book a demo versus learn more, your follow-up should match that intent. One of our clients, we start by asking where the person is on their parenting journey. Another, if they're simply researching or actively wanting to buy. Blanket messaging kills momentum, and journey logic keeps people engaged. We recently worked with a client running messenger ads for a high-ticket service. Great product, solid traffic, but the conversions were awful. Why? Because they were using default AI copy with no segmentation, no decision tree, and no human follow-up. Once we rebuilt the flow to match user intent and added a clear journey and set up a manual check-in, conversions tripled within 2 weeks. So it's not about using more tech. It's about using better strategy. So if you've set up a chatbot and it's underperforming, check for those trust killers first, because once trust is gone, the conversation ends before it ever really begins. Now let's talk about how to actually use conversational AI the right way. Because if you're going to add automation, it needs to feel like a natural extension of your brand, not some awkward bolt-on. The first thing is to start with the end in mind, which is one of my favorite Stephen Covey 7 habits. What is the purpose of this conversation? Is it to get someone to download a checklist, ask for a quote, book a call? That goal should shape the entire flow. Otherwise, you end up with a bunch of robotic messages that go nowhere. And one of the easiest ways to do this is by using tools like ManyChat to segment based on what someone actually wants. We might open with a messenger conversation saying, hey, what can I help you with today? Are you looking for pricing, a free resource, or do you just want to ask a question? Right away, the person feels that they're in control and you can guide them down a relevant path based on their answer. Then, keep your tone on brand. If you're casual, sound casual. If you're direct, keep it snappy. Don't fall into the trap of sounding like a bot just because a bot is sending the message. It still needs to feel like you. And always give people the option to speak to a real human. This should never be a closed loop where someone feels stuck in a chatbot limbo. You'd be surprised how many businesses forget this. We build in that option within the first few steps so that the user knows help is just a click away, if they need it. The last piece is email capture. Don't just ask for it up front. Make sure that there is value first, whether it's a downloadable resource, a checklist, quiz result, or something genuinely useful. Once you've delivered that, then you ask for the email to follow up. That's how you build a funnel that's smart and trust-led. It's not about being slick or over-automated. It's about being intentional, relevant, and responsive. And if you want to see how it works, head over to my resources page at marketingleap.net, download a social media checklist, complete with AI prompts, or a content planner, and see how we structure our own funnels here at Marketing Leap. Now, one of the biggest mindset shifts I try to instill with clients is this. AI isn't your voice, it's your assistant. And yes, let's repeat that. AI isn't your voice, it's your assistant. Think of conversational AI tools like ManyChat or Meta's built-in automation as your digital concierge. They're brilliant at greeting people at the door, offering a menu of options, guiding them through that first step, but they're not meant to run the entire conversation pretending to be you. And here's where it gets powerful, the handover. When someone clicks through a messenger ad, gets the info they need, and then that little message pops up saying, hey, looks like you're ready to chat. One of our team will message you personally within the next hour. That is where the trust lands. It's not a dead-end loop. It's a conversation that feels like your brand. Even in the automated bits, use your name, use your tone. Your audience should feel like it's you behind the message, even when tech is doing the legwork. And that's the balance. We want automation that supports connection, not replaces it. Because the best marketing, it still comes down to real people, real trust, and real value. And trust takes time, and it can be lost in seconds. So if your AI tools aren't reflecting your brand, your voice, and your values, it's time to reassess. Because automation should enhance the human experience, not replace it. It should make people feel seen, not sold to, and should always lead somewhere meaningful, whether it's a resource, a conversation, or a next step. And the businesses that are winning right now, they're the ones that are blending smart tech with real connection. They're strategic, they're empathetic, and they're not afraid to show up as themselves, even in a funnel. Trust takes time, and again, it can be lost in seconds. So don't let your AI tools sabotage the human relationships your business depends on. Use automation as your assistant, not your voice. Build conversations, not just clicks. And if you're ready to implement a lead gen funnel that's smart, strategic, and still sounds like you, we can help. At Marketing Leap, we design messaging systems that blend AI efficiency with human connection, from automated flows to nurture content that builds real trust. So head to marketingleap.net to book your strategy session, and let's start building a funnel that actually converts. And let's make your marketing feel like you again and get it working while you sleep. And speaking of conversions, in our next episode, we're shifting gears into Christmas mode. Yes, already. The buying season is already heating up, and if your socials, ads, or offers aren't aligned with buyer intent, you're leaving money on the table. We're breaking down what works now, including Gen Z trends, social commerce shifts, and last-minute campaign ideas to finish the year strong. See you then. Thanks for tuning in to the Digital Success for Business podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and follow us on YouTube for even more tips.